If you're concerned in any way, you're far right. Look at us. We're far right. We sit here and have a conversation. The extremists are sitting in Parliament, allowing it to happen every day. And it only takes one to stand up, and then a second stands up, and then 5 stand up, 20, 1,000, everyone. It won't be a trickle. It'll be an explosion.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Nick Talks. This episode's returning an amazing guest. It's that Silver Fox from Silver Fox Hot Takes. How you doing, Foxy?
Hi Nick, how are you? I'm doing well. It's one of those days where everything seems to be going wrong for me. I was all delayed and got caught in traffic, so I managed to get back for the recording. So we're all good now. I was worried, but we're good.
Well, I made an awful mistake yesterday, which I'm not even going to admit. I'm not even going to talk about. But I went to bed last night at 9:05, and I lay in bed feeling sorry for myself, and I slept 10 hours off and on. And I woke up in a slightly better mood. I'm trying to get over it now because I hate it when I make mistakes. And it was a mistake that I didn't need to make. And so, yeah, we all have days like this. They're called bad days.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I'll tell you who's having a bad day. I'll tell you who's having a bad year is this Labour government. Because almost a week or two after they won the election and got in government, we had the Southport atrocity where 3 baby little girls were slaughtered. That led to riots. And that's when Keir Starmer and the government went, oh, the people don't seem to like mass immigration anymore. And then a few months ago, we had Ballymena. And they went, oh, people in Northern Ireland who I really don't care about, they don't seem to like mass immigration and rapey men living in their community and abusing their children and women. And then over the last couple of weeks, it's really ramped up in the UK. We've got protests outside migrant hotels almost daily, especially at weekends. There was one a couple of days ago, which was midweek. And the police are shepherding the anti-racist, the anti-fascists, that's what they are, back to the train station. And one of the coppers in charge shouts to the other coppers, right, make sure the fascists can't get to them on the left and the right. And he was referring to the parents who are protesting about migrants. The police now refer to us in the open as the fascists. Absolutely shocking. Did you see that video?
I did not, but it wouldn't surprise me. After all, we're all far right now, aren't we, Nick? How dare you? How dare you want to protect your children? Oh, no, that's not the done thing. You're supposed to hand them over now, I think. And if you talk about it, oh, you're far right, if you're concerned in any way, you're far right. Look at us. We're far right. We sit here and have a conversation saying, isn't it terrible how people like women and children sit outside a hotel and the police come along and try to put a Section 42 order on them for what? Civil disobedience. They're just sitting there quietly outside a hotel, women and children, or as they like to call them, as you say, fascist far right thugs. Yeah.
Absolutely shocking.
It's the name calling. They've got to keep calling us names in the hope that other people suddenly believe that everyone who opposes mass, uncontrolled, illegal immigration is somehow an extremist and the far right. And the truth is, of course, we're not. The extremists are sitting in Parliament, allowing it to happen every day. And they're using their Stasi thugs, the police, to enforce their extremist view at the expense of normal, decent people who've got righteous concerns.
But for all our lifetime, Foxy, the establishment calling us names and putting labels on people as fascist, xenophobic, racist, Nazi, homophobe, transphobe, Islamophobe, that's worked. That's kept everybody kowtowed. That's kept everybody afraid. But you only can keep people afraid for so long until you reach the tipping point, until you reach the point where individuals are more scared of the status quo than being called those names. I think we've reached that now. People are going, I'll take those names. I'll take going to jail. I'll take being beaten up because I need to leave this country safer for my children and for my sister and my wife and people who come next. And men who don't think like that, they're called cowards. And I think we're getting to a tipping point. And my only fear is someone, I don't know who it's going to be on what side or whatever, Someone's going to do something stupid, and that's going to be the spark that burns many things down. And we need to be very careful. The government needs to be very careful. But I think the worm has turned. The British people now have gone, no more, no more. We're not having it anymore. The worm has turned. Do you feel that?
100%. Yeah. I mean, all the name calling, just get back to the name calling. They've called us these names and they've called us these names. You're this, you're that, you're an ist, you're a phobe, you know. Well, we've heard it so often now. Those words, they don't mean anything. Oh, if you say something, you're a racist. I'm a racist. Oh, what the hell? Yeah, I'm a racist. There you go. Oh, you're far right. Yay, I'm far right. Yippee, I'm far right. Yeah. You're a homophobe. Well, whippy do. Don't care. Literally don't care. The words are just words. They're now meaningless. You can invent new words, but it doesn't matter. Water off a duck's back. Who cares now about being called a racist or a xenophobe or anything like that? Doesn't matter anymore because we aren't. We know we're not. These are just words used by people in power who realize how scared they are, and they're absolutely terrified. Make no bones about it. They are absolutely terrified because they try and they try and they try to keep us cowed down, as you say. But now we're standing up, and it only takes one to stand up, and then a second stands up, and then 5 stand up, 20, 1,000, everyone. And they'll try and beat. It's whack-a-mole. As soon as one stands up, they try to beat him down. Then 2 others, because it's a hydra. Now look at Tommy Robinson. They try to beat him. He stands up. They beat him down. He stands up. Then they're trying this. There was a violent incident. Blah 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 blah. Okay, so they arrested him. The news, the media are all saying, this far right thug from Luton has been arrested at Luton Airport after fleeing the country. No, he went on a pre-arranged holiday. He was actually due to fly back in, I think, East Midlands perhaps or something. But he changed his flight to Luton, having already phoned the police in Luton to tell him he's coming home early and he's coming to Luton to meet him there. This was all there, but the press aren't reporting that. He comes in, gets arrested, gets questioned, gets bailed, and has his passport handed back to him. Why? Because, as he said, he was self-defense, and they are not releasing all the footage of this because they don't want you, me, and Joe Public to know the truth. The truth is they arrested him for violence, but in fact, all it was self-defense. And if the video got out, they'd see what the state is. The state is a bunch of lying thugs trying to push down and whack-a-mole Tommy Robinson. Now, I don't particularly like Tommy Robinson. That's not the point. The point is not who he is. The point is what he's standing for. What he's standing for is truth and not having an oppressive state. But we're seeing more of them stand up now. More and more people are standing up. And anyone who stands up, it's that whack-a-mole. But they can't whack-a-mole when we all stand up together. And that is the key. And as you say, there'll be that tipping point and we'll all stand up. And I tell you what, the marches will be towards Parliament. And if you want to know why they're building that big fence around Parliament, because they know that's what's coming.
Yeah, absolutely. If there was video evidence showing Tommy Robinson assaulting someone at the train station, that would have been released.
They would have released that day.
That they would have done because that would have proven their point. Now, Tommy Robinson himself is a very flawed character. He's made many mistakes in life, but he's also been right about almost everything as well. And time has proven him to be right. And I say to people all the time, don't look at the messenger, look at the message. The message is the most important part of this. And for people who hate Tommy Robinson and think he's a far-right thug, is this, is that, I don't like him. And part of the criticism could be true because, he's got a criminal record. Part of it could be true. The answer to that is, that's not the point. The point is, if the government can get away with persecuting someone you don't like, it's only a matter of time before they don't like you. And then they can come and persecute you for having the wrong views. Everybody needs to be equal in the eyes of the law. Doesn't matter about if you agree with them or don't agree with them, or you think they're a scumbag or a terrorist. It doesn't matter. Equal in the eyes of the law. Otherwise, when they come for you, you've fed the dragon hoping to be eaten last, and it will come for you eventually.
Yeah, but equal in the eyes of the law is a joke, Nick. A little I know, a little post on Facebook, 3.5 years, but rape a child, you get 8 months. Well, he didn't know it was illegal. Oh, well, there we go.
Yeah, there's a guy been in court today. It's in the paper. Immigrant, only been in the country a few weeks, in court. Either rape of a child or attempted rape of a child. Pleads not guilty in Urdu. In Urdu. That's how bad the problems have got. Is now you can use the word not guilty and guilty in foreign languages in our courts now because we expect it because we're importing that much scum from the third world.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's all the time. And of course, when you raise the issue, people say, "Oh, look at you! You're being racist. You're reporting all these things. You're racist." Okay, that's fine. Like I said, yeah, I'm racist. But you know what I'm doing? I'm reporting what's happening. I'm not inventing it. I'm not saying, "Oh, well, he does that and he does that." I'm not doing that. I'm saying there was a court case of this. There was a court case of those two men there. There was a court case of this gang doing that. There was a court case of this guy here. Is the truth racist? Is reality racist? Because I'm only calling it as I see it, but you're not allowed to see it because they're putting the control on the online safety. Yeah, they're saying it's won't somebody think of the children? Is it bugger? It's won't somebody think of the poor, sad MPs who'll be strung up if everyone knew what was actually going on? They want to cover the truth because the truth would destroy them.
Foxy, don't use the term strung up because last time you used the term like that, you had 6 officers at your house arresting you. And for people watching, this isn't a joke.
No,
he
it's
was
not
arrested on a Friday night because he used the term string up in a sarcastic way. They called it his house and arrested him. These are scary times.
Yes, but we're being led with very scared people. I have no fear. I've already been there. I've had my arrest. I don't care. I'm going to go to court probably. I don't care. Because I have right on my side. Who is it? I'm trying to think of was it Coleridge? No, that was around the edge of my Tennyson, I think. It was I have the strength of 10 because my heart is pure.
Yep. I say to people all the time, I'm being warned all the time by friends and family, Nick, you're too controversial, you're going to get arrested. And it's like, well, I'm not trying to get arrested. That's a fact. But if it happens, it happens. Because I would rather die on my feet than live on my knees. Because I've got no intentions of living on my knees under this establishment and this Labour Party. But it's not a Labour Party problem. We had 14 years of this under Tory. This isn't a Labour problem.
Just as bad as it. Of course, they're no different. They're two cheeks of the same backside. Honestly, but if you did get arrested, it's a badge of honor because it means you're rattling them. You're telling the truth, and they are rattled. And that's the problem. That's the only reason you get. It's the only reason you get arrested, is for telling the truth. And I can't wait really because if they do take me to court, I'm going straight up to a trial with jury. No jury has ever convicted.
Yeah, exactly. And I think they also go after the smaller people as well. Your channel's been growing since you've been arrested. I don't think they'd go for you again. I don't think they'd come for me. Because I think, they know they'll have a fight on their hands with me. I've already beaten the woke mob. I already beaten an online mob. So they're thinking he won't go quietly and the press will go crazy with this one. I think they go for people no one's heard of to browbeat him just so other people can go, I don't want to be that person. Because they're cowards and because you're right, this government is terrified. The establishment is terrified what's to come. Because they can see the people are angry. They can see it bubbling over. The police have already said, if it kicks off in 2, 3, 4 places at the same time, then they can't handle it. They haven't got the resources. No, exactly. They haven't got the resources. So they're scared stiff. And we've seen so many regimes fall. That's the history of mankind. Regimes falling. No one saw Romania fall. No one saw the collapse of the Berlin Wall fall. We only saw it falling when it was happening. No one predicted it because when the people get angry enough, change comes and change comes quickly. And they're terrified. I can feel it in the air. They're terrified. They're going to come down so hard on us before that. They're going to get worse before it gets better.
Yeah. But as you say, there'll be that tipping point and then boom, it'll go. It will be it won't be a trickle. It'll be an explosion. Yeah.
Exactly. It's like those water fountains where drip, 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 and then the tipping point, and it goes, and it all comes over. And that's exactly what it's going to be. And just for people watching, I don't want violence, but predicting violence isn't the same as campaigning for violence. I hope the government gets to its senses and does U-turns and stops all this. But if they don't, there will be violence. This is a prediction, it's not a campaign.
Angry people do stupid things. Things they may well regret later. And that's the problem. But especially angry people in big crowds, because you get that that atmosphere, don't you? You get that oppressive atmosphere, and especially if it's cathartic and a release, and it just washes out over people, and that's when things happen, and that's when buildings burn. That's when, that's when societies change.
And that's when our leaders find themselves hanging from lampposts with piano wire, because it's got that far, and people need to be able to take out their frustration on someone. And politicians at the peak of that hierarchy of who's to blame for this situation.
They are to blame. Yeah, they've done it. I mean, the immigration, they could stop that tomorrow, but they choose not to. Well, they're going to pay that price, aren't they?
They will. Steinmeier's new plan: for every illegal immigrant we deport to France, we're going to take a legal one off them. It's like swapping shit for shit.
It's even worse than that, Nick. It's so badly written. There's half a dozen loopholes, and they're already publishing them and saying, "Oh, we've got to do this," and then hey, and it's done. I've got a video on that.
All right. Well, make sure people check that video out. Foxy, thanks again for coming on the channel. For people who don't follow Foxy on YouTube, go in the description of the video. His link will be there for his channel. Go subscribe. You won't be disappointed. Hardworking YouTuber. Sometimes you're putting 5-6 videos out a day.
Oh, Nick, it's sometimes 20.
Is it? Right, I've never seen that many.
That's because every story that comes up, and I go, "Are you kidding me? Are you what?" Got to do a video. Hi there, and then put the story up. Yeah, I just live. I've got no life, but I love doing it because the truth has got to go out there.
Well, fantastic. Let's end on that. The truth has to get out there. That's a perfect way to end this podcast. Cheers, Foxy.
Thank you very much, Nick. Always a pleasure being here, and thanks to everyone for watching and sticking with us. Bye now.
See you later.